Hello, welcome back to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry, this is Blue, and you're watching Monday Quilt Chat, where we just chat about what's going on in my sewing room here and in the quilting world in general. And Blue popped in just to say thank you for all the beautiful batik blocks that were sent. Right, Blue? You're just thrilled about it, aren't you? Look at that face. Can you see the excitement? He is. He knows we love the doggies. Don't you, Blue? Don't you? You're a good boy. And you're saying thank you, aren't you? You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. Yeah, see? There he was. He's going to tell you. All right, you ready to lay back down? Let's lay down. Wasn't that nice of Blue to say thank you? Let's see if he takes another little nap. He was napping. I got up to move around a little bit to get the lighting and everything situated here, and he jumped up because every time I jump up, he jumps up. It doesn't matter how deep of a sleep he is in. He's going to make sure that if for some reason I'm going OUT that door, that he's going to be right behind me. So he jumped up, and I thought, okay, he can jump up and say hi to everybody. And thank you for the blocks. I can't wait to start sewing those blocks together. It's just right here in the forefront of my mind. I just want to get going on those. I did do some things this weekend that I kind of halfway planned that I would do, and that being working on the long arm project still. I've got one more row left of blocks, and so I should be able to get that done pretty soon so that I can get that off there and get maybe a quick project done, because I haven't showed you anything for several weeks, which you knew. I told you that was what was going to be the case. But yeah, I did that. And then the Barnstar sampler, I showed you on Friday how I had gotten blocks number, I think it was 17 done, 16 or 17. I went ahead and finished all the blocks. I have all the way through 20 finished now, and now I'm putting the big sections together, which I showed you some of that, but I'm discovering now that I may have constructed some of those incorrectly. I may have added the blocks together in their sections wrong. I've got some right, and I've got some that are questionable, because now I'm getting to the end of my stack of blocks, and I'm not seeing that I have the right blocks left to put together. So I'm going to have to put everything laid out on the board or somewhere and figure out what's going on. I'll do that here in a minute after I get through with this video. Don't let the sunshine fool you. It's cold here. I don't know what's going on. It's a beautiful day. It's very breezy, clear skies, but it's just in the 50s. So, you know, that seems cold after some of the really pretty sunny days that we've had with heat lately. I'm not complaining. As long as there's sunshine, I'm happy. So I just had to turn my little heater back on. I thought, you know, I had the air conditioning on Friday, didn't I? Didn't I say something about the air conditioning being on? Yes, I did. And now I've got the heater back on. So it's a good thing I didn't take that out of here. I was thinking about taking it out just to, you know, make some foot room. And I hadn't yet, so I was glad of that. Yesterday in particular, when I was out here in the evening after dark, it was particularly chilly, so I was glad I had my heater. So I think that's pretty much what I did this past weekend, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue with that. It'd be really nice if I could get that thing together and say it's done for Friday. I'll have it hanging outside so you can see the whole thing. I think my area out there is not even going to contain it. It's probably going to be laying on the ground a little bit. So that's my goal, is to get that thing all put together. I cannot believe that I'm finally to the end of that project. Feels good though, because I'm still wanting to get some new projects off the ground. I don't feel like I'm doing as many projects as I did this time last year. I had quite a few going. I think after I get the Barnstar sampler done, I'm going to tear into the Happy Days and put those other 3 borders on. Well, I need to make the other 3 borders and then put all the borders on. That's what I need to do. It's like it's just enough it's just a little bit, but it's a lot at the same time. And I don't know. I think once I get the Barnstar sampler done, I'll be ready to finish that one too. And that'll be 2 quilt tops finished in short order here. Not really in short order because it's taken me years. Feels like years that I've been working on those. In other news about quilt tops, you saw that I had done the HAZEL'S hat, and I have some instructions ready for you. I'll try to transfer that into a PDF format and put that in the description of this video. And if you have sent me an email, I'll send you an email with it too. That way I'll know that I've covered everybody in case for some reason those people didn't see this video or couldn't watch it for some reason. So I will send those people their instructions, and then I will keep that in my description box so that if you want to try that, you can. So it took a little bit to write all that down. I had a whole bunch of like rough draft notes as I was going along, so I had to kind of go back and remember, what was this? What was I trying to say? What measurement goes with what? But I think I've got it in a pretty good understandable order if you want to try that with your Millie's dresses and haberdashery patterns. So that's done. And then what else have I done? I think I swept the floor one day. It was looking pretty linty, and I think that's all the quilty things I've done since I talked to you last. Pretty soon, probably I would say in the next 2 or 3 days, I should have the Soul Sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop. And you know, I don't necessarily do unboxings on those, but I will be showing you the quilt along pattern that's coming out. I've seen it already. You know, Fat Quarter Shop has shown it. It's called Peaceful Baskets, and they're using another Camille Roskelly blue and green cream sort of line called Shoreline. And since I did Nantucket Summer with the mystery quilt along, I don't think I need another quilt that looks that much like that one, so I'm going to use something else. And I have picked something out that I'm going to use. I think this is what I'm going to use. I bought this last year. This is Adele in Summer. And I have a layer cake, obviously. And then I have a whole bunch of yardage. And I think, you know, there will be no doubt that I will have enough yardage to do this. So it's called Peaceful Baskets. P-I-E-C-E, full baskets. Here are the... So I'm thinking maybe, you know, some of these could be the baskets. I don't know. I hope this works out, because one thing I heard that kind of gives me a little bit of a hesitation is someone said, it was Kim Jolly, she said the baskets will have some continuity to them, or they will have something in common in how you use the fabric. So if that's the baskets, I don't know if I use like a plaid like this for the baskets. I don't know if I'll have enough for it or not, and if I could find this, because this is from last year. I probably should go out and see, but there's some of those in here too. It looks like, well, yeah, and there's some other plaids in here that would work too. So I could just use all plaids for the baskets, and then, you know, the other stuff that's in the basket, I can just use the florals and the small prints and the diamond prints and all of that. So yeah, this is... I didn't really have a plan for this, other than I did get, at that time, I think I got it at the same time. I may have got this somewhere else. I'm not for sure. But I got this panel that goes with it. So I'm thinking either I'll use this on the back of the quilt, or I'll have enough scraps left to put around this and make a secondary quilt This is a jar. I'm sure you all seen this. It's kind of old. It's not old. It's last year. It's so last year. This has a saying on it. Let me see if it says Riley Blake Designs, Adele and Summer, Sandy Gervais, 2023. So yeah, that's where I got it from. I probably got it from Quilting a Day, because I think I saw this on So Yeah. I didn't buy it at the time, and I'm glad I waited, because a couple days later it was on Quilting a Day for cheaper. So I find that happens quite often. You know, I'll watch them and I'll decide, no, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to see if Quilting a Day has it here in a few days. And if they do and they have it on better sale, then I'll get it there. Speaking of things that I bought, I finally got this in. This has been on order for a long time. This is from Green Fairy Quilts, and it's a fat quarter bundle. I'm going to go ahead and open it. I haven't opened it yet so that you can see all the prints. This was on major sale. And I just looked it up. Green Fairy Quilts online. This is called Brilliance. And it is by Jerry Robinson. Look at all these gorgeous colors. I love these, like that right there. I love that. And that dark one too. And then these mustardy ones down here too. Aren't those pretty? And of course, you know I love teal. Teal and aqua and all that. So this is how many pieces? 22 pieces. So, I don't know. I think I bought this thinking I would use it for the peaceful baskets. I'm going to wait and see if, when I get the pattern, I'm going to look and decide for sure, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this Adele and Summer, because this is a little more deep, whereas, well, I don't know, this one has kind of a deep one too, but it's more happy, a happier deep. This is more of a dramatic, romantic deep. Yeah, the way we describe fabric sometimes and colors. So anyway, what I was going to say about this is Green Fairy Quilts. They still have this. It's $69.52 today. I got this for $39.99. They were having a 40 to 60% off or something one day. And I went in there and saw this and thought, oh, I'm going to get that. Where can you get a fat quarter bundle this size for $39? So I have this. They do have some yardage in this really dark. I'm tempted to go get a few yards of that while it's still available. I don't know. Probably should. That's kind of been my modus operandi lately, is to get a bulky fat quarter bundle and a good piece of yardage. So, that worked out well with the Anne of Green Gables, by the way. What else did I want to tell you? I am going to Quilt Week this week. Now, I won't be there all week. This is Paducah, Kentucky, the quilt show there, the AQS quilt show, and I'll be there Wednesday and Thursday. So if I see you there, please come up and say hi. If you see me, I won't recognize you. I only know your all's names, a lot of them, but I don't know your faces with the names, but you know my face, so don't be shy about coming up and saying hi if you see me. I had a couple ladies come up to me last year that recognized me from the channel, but yeah, I'd love to meet each and every one of you someday. You just never know how that might happen, but the more I can meet of you, the happier I will be. Okay, as promised, last week I had two more quilt magazines to go through with you. This is American Patchwork and Quilting, and it is the June 2024 issue. And I was just browsing through here and seeing all kinds of wonderful things. and I'll share a handful of those things with you. Oh, there's a big article in here on Lisa Bonjean's place, Primitive Gatherings, in Larson, Wisconsin. In the comments, put if you've ever been there, or if you've ever had the privilege to go to one of those retreats in that wonderful retreat center she has. But she has a wonderful shop there, quilts hanging from ceiling to floor, and lots of nice retreats, nice accommodations for a retreat. And I liked her quote here. She says, if you're really into quilting, it's a way of life. You're doing it every day. We don't know what people who don't quilt do. Have you ever wondered that? You quilt all day and go in, have dinner, come back, quilt some more, get up in the morning, have breakfast, quilt some more, watch some quilting videos like this one. And what is the rest of the world doing? I have no idea. Here's that building. I don't know if you can see it. Well, there you go. That's a retreat center. So it looks very, very nice. Very, very nice. I'd love to go someday. Here's some ladies stitching in a comfy chair. Yeah, I'd like to know if any of you have been able to go. There's a designer challenge in here between Joanna Figueroa and Jen Kingwell. These are the quilts that came out of their challenge. Here's a quilt called Rainbow Rails. There's a pattern for that. It looks like it's 2 prints and a solid in the middle, and then they just, rotated them. You could do that with your scraps. Lots of pieces though. Lots of little pieces. Here's Fall in Line. Have you noticed that my lighting is better? I got a new light, and I think it's working out pretty good. Even on Friday, you don't see those shadows behind me as much anymore. Or maybe not at all. I haven't noticed it. I'm going to eventually get up with the correct technology here for doing videos. This one. Now this is out of Kim Deal's fabrics, and she's kind of like that Civil War but a little updated feel. And this is out of her scraps. And those are like little 1-inch strips. And then she made, I was looking at it. She made little strips and connected them lengthwise, and then put 12 of those together, and then made, how many rows was it? 2, 4, 6 rows. And I was looking at the fabric requirements, and there are over 1,000 little pieces in this quilt. But it is something you could kind of pick up and put down, between projects. Patch of Posies. This is by Heather Briggs. And if you watch the Friday Fat Quarter Shop show, she was interviewed this past week. She has really soft colored projects, pastel-y things. Oh, and I like this. Spreading Sunshine. Scrappy string piece star blocks shine brightly against a buttery yellow background. And there's a template in here for doing that. For doing those stars. Very pretty. And then I also like this pear. It's called Pear Toss. And the pears are just kind of turned every which way. There's peachy colored pears and green pears. I like that color combination. Here it is, right here. There we go. And I think that's all I wanted to share with you out of that. And then the American Quilter. This is May 2024. I'm just going to go ahead and pull my label off of here so I don't have to flash my address. There's an article in here under the Did You Know. I always like the Did You Know articles. This is always in there. But this lady, her name is Marie Webster. And she is one of the early business women in the quilting industry. She started quilting a little bit later in life, and then she got into a business of making, designing quilt patterns and crafting patterns. And she had that business for 21 years. And she published some books. And she wanted something, I think it said something in here that she didn't like the patterns that were available at the time, so she designed her own, inspired by flowers from her garden. So she started submitting these to different outlets, and then finally she decided, she got so many requests for patterns that she started something called the Practical Patchwork Company. She ran that for 21 years with her sister and 2 friends and retired in 1942. So that's a really early start to the business of quilting. Marie Webster. Interesting. And that all started here in Indiana. Watermelon popsicles. Jumping around Rouville. There's a template for it. Well, now see, my lighting's not helping me because it's making these shiny pages shine. There is an article about music and quilting. And Laura, you need to get this magazine if you don't have it. You know who you are. You know who I'm talking about. It says the healing qualities of music and quilting. Pinwheel Frenzy. This looks like a batik project. Oh, and then at the end of the magazine, the quilts that have won ribbons in other shows this year are in here. I'm not going to show you all these because there's so many of them. They are just amazing. I can't wait to see them this week. I will be taking some video footage and make my normal video that I make of the show. Here's another pattern, Blueberry Blooms. There's some applique in that one. There's an article on what's a quilter to do. What should I do with quilts I inherited? Can I sell my quilts? Who else may take my quilts? And then there's 10 acts of quilter kindness. Here's another quilt pattern, Blue Lagoon. There's a Dear Jane quilt article in here. And then there's an article at the end about quilting hacks or tips and tricks with quilting that maybe you haven't tried or heard of yet but might help you. I picked out a couple. There's probably 15 to 20 hacks here. But I'll just pick out a couple of them. One of them I liked was reduce strip bundle lint. It says, do you hate all the fabric crumbs that go everywhere when you untie the bow of a new jelly roll bundle? It says before untying, use a sticky tape roller on the flat sides of the strip bundle several times. And this was interesting. She says, this is Kimberly Einmo, by the way. She says, my aerospace engineer husband assures me, after much scientific study, doing this with multiple pieces of tape will reduce lint emissions by 82%. I don't know if that was a joke or if he really did figure that out. And then another one that I liked, there's a ton of them in here. Another one I liked is called In a Bind. The extra vertical thread spool pin on top of your machine can be used to roll your binding up. Well, you can roll it up first and then put it on that spool. And there it is right where you need it, but yet out of your way. I thought, that's genius. I should do that. I have that on here and I don't use it because I have a spool stand, a thread stand. So I could use that. Yeah, I'm going to try that next time. So the binding will come off the spool as you stitch. So that is the magazine reviews that I have for you. Again, American Quilter, May 2024, and I need to renew my membership. And then American Patchwork and Quilting, June 2024. So this is a lot of good eye candy. And you can learn some stuff too. Some history, some tips and tricks, some patterns, all kinds of stuff. Now, I didn't do very well on my journaling I think last week I didn't do any journaling. No, I didn't. I don't know what was going on. This past week I didn't do any journaling either, but I sat and made myself do it at the end of the week. And I don't know if I have everything included or not. So it is important for me to do this on the daily instead of wait until the end of the week to see what I've done. It's much more fulfilling to do it day by day than it is to try to go back and remember, what did I do this week? You know you did stuff, but you don't have anything you can say, oh yeah, I did finish that, or I did work on that, or I did do this. So here is the quilt of the week. I will put a picture right there. You can look at it while I read this short paragraph. It's called Fandango, 65 by 68, by Robin Wacker of Sheridan, Wyoming. It says, this tulip pink pattern contains several Y seams, but the bright colors made it fun for Robin to machine piece. She chose 70-30 batting with wool on top to add definition and designed the feathers with lines and swirls. 70-30 batting? I haven't seen that. She added small pearls on the block corners to create a secondary design. Won the People's Choice Award at the Wyoming State Fair in Sheridan, Wyoming, and was a ribbon winner at the Black Hills Show in Rapid City, South Dakota. I would say so. That definitely looks like a prize-winning quilt. So this was a tulip pink pattern with Y seams. Lots of great quilting on that as well. Beautiful. And yes, the calendar shows that it is Quilt Week. So Quilt Week in Paducah, Kentucky. So I will have to report back with you on that. This Wednesday I will be having the part 2 of the improv series, which is probably just going to be 2 parts as far as I can tell. That's going to be also a Monday all day, get the video done, get the quilt maybe done. I don't know. If not, there will be a part 3. But either way, it's going to be on the improv quilting, which is so much fun. So much fun. I hope you all try that if you haven't. Some of you have already expressed that you do that. You just start out without a pattern and just kind of, go at it. I kind of use the panels as a crutch to do that. I'm not very good at just coming up with something off the top of my head. I usually have to have a jumping off point, and panels are great for that. You've got your motifs there, and then you can just kind of go whichever direction you want with it. So that's generally how I do a lot of my improv quilting, is with the crutch of a panel. But improv is improv. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, so we need to get busy this week and get things done, and just keep things going and pull things out we haven't seen for a while, and do some cleaning and organizing, and keep this quilting mentality that we have, which makes us wonder, what do other people do? And have a good week and get some things done. That's just always the goal, isn't it? So I encourage all of you to do what you can to make that happen. And even if you can only do a little bit each day, it's still going to add up, and it's going to give you a lot of satisfaction, and it's just really good for your mind, and it's just really good for you. So get something out to do, and we will be back here on Wednesday for the improv video, and then Friday for Finish It Friday. And you guys are going to see the Barnstar Sampler quilt top on Friday. Sure does look like it. You better stay tuned so you can see if I do. All right, have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.